Most of us pay our utility bills on autopilot. The envelope arrives, you quickly check the total, and you move on. Until a month comes along where your normal $140 balance suddenly jumps past $200. You unfold the paper trying to figure out why, only to find meter numbers, kilowatt hours, distribution rates, supply charges, and a dozen lines of jargon stacked on top of each other. You don't need to understand every single line to audit the math. You just need to divide the document into 3 distinct categories: usage, your rate, and everything else. Before you blame the thermostat or yell at your family to turn off the lights, you have to isolate exactly which of those variables changed this month. A higher price tag does not automatically mean your household actually consumed more energy. The total is the result of a specific formula, and you have to separate the pieces to see what actually happened. This equation shows how utilities calculate your balance. Roughly your fixed charges, plus usage multiplied by applicable rates, plus taxes minus credits. To measure usage, utilities rely on the kilowatt hour, or kWh, exactly 1 kilowatt of power running continuously for 1 hour. Understanding that baseline unit is the only way to measure what you are paying for, because that number is where a proper audit begins. When your bill looks wrong, ignore the final dollar amount. Check the service period first. Find the start date, the end date, and the exact billing days. Look at these 2 calendar grids. A bill covering 33 days and a bill covering 28 days are going to look completely different, even if your daily habits never changed. More days on the calendar naturally inflates the baseline total. Once you verify the dates, find your billable usage. For a standard electric meter, that number is simply the difference between your current meter reading and your previous meter reading. But sometimes, utilities cannot access your physical meter because of severe weather or a locked gate, or a wireless smart meter drops its connection. In those cases, the utility prints one crucial word next to your reading: estimated. This bar chart shows the true-up mechanism in action. If the utility guesses low one month based on past weather patterns, they issue an artificially small bill. When they finally get an actual reading, the next month's bill absorbs the difference. That massive spike is an administrative correction balancing the books. Checking the calendar and looking for that estimated label will save you from panicking over a usage spike that only exists on paper. Phase 2 of the audit moves from how much energy you used to the price you paid for it. You need to separate flat monthly fixed fees from your variable usage-based rates. Looking at this vertical bar graph, the bottom block represents a fixed customer or service charge. Even if you turn off your main breaker and your household energy consumption shrinks to absolute zero, that fixed charge is permanently locked on your bill. Now watch as the usage block morphs into a staircase. Many utilities use a tiered pricing structure. The cost per kilowatt hour actually increases as your total consumption climbs onto those higher steps. As this vertical line splits the staircase into 2 distinct seasonal zones, it shows how a billing period crossing from a cheaper winter schedule to an expensive summer rate triggers a prorated calculation. The exact same usage is split across 2 entirely different pricing rules. Some bills also divide your services by company. The cost of generating the electricity, the supply, can be separate from the cost of the poles and wires delivering it to your home. In states with retail choice, those might even be 2 different companies. Because of all these variables, never use a published national electricity price to check your math. An average blends revenues and taxes across entire states. It has nothing to do with the specific local tariff applied to your meter. Since your applied rate is highly localized, potentially tiered, and seasonal, comparing this month's final dollar amount directly to last month's is mathematically impossible until you check the rate structure. Phase 3 is reconciliation. As this graphic highlights, you need to explicitly cross-check the days, the usage, the rate, and the reading status on your current bill against those exact same fields on your previous month's bill. If the numbers still don't reconcile, pull up your daily interval data on your utilities website. With that specific data in hand, call the provider and ask them to explain the exact line item that doesn't match. While you are investigating, be incredibly careful if you receive a sudden, aggressive phone call threatening an immediate shutoff unless you pay right away using a prepaid card or wire transfer. Scammers frequently use billing confusion to panic customers. Ignore their instructions completely. Hang up and independently verify your account status using only the official customer service number printed on your physical bill. Mastering this 3-step audit removes the panic from utility billing. You will know exactly how to spot a genuine mathematical error versus a standard structural rate change. But once you know how to read the math, the next obvious question is why the baseline consumption itself spikes so drastically during extreme summer or winter weather.